Now we're going to get into a specific application, RStudio. And I would like to present a few differences between RStudio Server and RStudio Desktop. So those are the two RStudios that you can access on the cluster. The RStudio Server is the one we recommend, is the go-to RStudio application with easy to install packages. They're pre-compiled, they're super easy to install. You cannot set RLibs user, that's the location where packages are saved. So we set that for you and you cannot change it. The location is this one, the tilde is for home directory, our IFX or studio, and then the image tag, depending on the version that you choose, it's going to be a different name here. You cannot use the module commands when you're inside RStudio Server, and you cannot use Slurm commands like sbatch or saccount. The RStudio Desktop, on the other hand, we don't set anything, so it's very customized on your end. You can set a lot of things, including RLibs user. You can set where your packages are saved. You can use module load, and you can also use Slurm commands. However, to install packages is very challenging because you need to have all the dependencies, you need to have all of the modules properly loaded and linked. So it's not trivial to use it. We only recommend RStudio Desktop if you know all of these and if you also are planning to use multi-node jobs, because RStudio Server is restricted to running a job in one node. Even though it's one node, you can still use it in parallel using multi-core, but restricted to one node. Right. Here, I will show you how you can easily install packages and change directories on RStudio Server, and I'll also go through the process of launching the app. So I selected here from the home, I selected RStudio Server, and then I'm going to ask for a test partition because I'm just testing. 8 GB of memory, 2 CPUs. Let me just show you what happens if I request for a GPU, but don't use a GPU partition, just so you know what's going to happen, what kind of error you see. So this is the error that you will get. So it failed to submit session because your requested node configuration is not available because I asked for a GPU in a partition that does not have GPU. So that's why I'm getting this error. Also, if I try to say, let's say I requested 100 core in tests, which doesn't have. So it will tell you even if I request 64, which test doesn't have, I'm going to see a similar error. So CPU count per node cannot be satisfied. So if you get some error like this, pay attention to what's written because it usually tells you what the problem is in your form. So let's request the right amount that I need now and launch. And here you can see the active jobs. And once your job is available, then you can click here and go to your RStudio. And to install packages, you would do install.packages. Let's try data.table. So you can see that installed in that directory that I told you. So the home directory, R, IFX RStudio, and then because I selected this version, release 3.16, that's where it's saved. And now if I would like to load the package, it's already there, data table, and I can load it, okay? If you would like to change the directory, let's say if you would like to run your job in Scratch, what you can do is use this file browser here and type, let's say, Holy Labs, and then you can search for your own lab. In this case would be J Harvard Lab, J Harvard users, J Harvard, and then you can, for example, open a test file here. If you would like to change the directory where you're running, this is I'm just doing this. You can go to Session, Set Working Directory, choose Work Directory, and do the same thing. Click on the three dots and do N, labs, J, Harvard, lab. Okay, and then the same thing. If I would like to run, so now this is my home directory. And all of this is detailed here in the slide. Stop package, and if you'd like to open a file, sorry, I just did the different order.